Is Bitcoin safe? Well, it depends on what you mean by safe. So to illustrate, let me tell you a story about my family. During the Great Depression, my great-grandfather lost his entire life savings. You see, some banks were using depositor money to make high-risk investments in the stock market. However, much of the stock market was overpriced at the time, so when Wall Street crashed in 1929, people who had stored their money in banks that had taken those risks lost everything. The problem was, after the collapse of Wall Street, financial panic spread everywhere. Distrust in banks, even healthy banks, erupted, so people tried to withdraw their money and they were denied because the banks didn't have the funds to cover it. So the banks themselves collapsed, even local banks. The irony to me was that a small Mississippi farmer, my great-grandfather, refused to make a run on the bank to get his money. From what I understand, he refused to make a run on the bank out of integrity. Or, maybe he still believed in the system. All I know is if more people had responded to this crash of some of the banks and it acted more like this Mississippi farmer and refused to give in to fear and waited, maybe there would have been a different outcome. But there wasn't. So the economy collapsed. Safety features like the FDIC and regulations on banks were implemented as a result of human greed. So at some level, there are safeguards on our current banking system directly because of the Great Depression. But you have to ask the question, what was the ultimate reason behind those safeguards? And the answer is that they were put in place because they needed to keep a check on human greed. Banks risked a significant amount of depositor money for their own profit. They lost it all and wound up breaking trust with the entire nation due to that human greed. So that brings us to Bitcoin and asking the question yet again, is Bitcoin safe? If you mean by safe, does it stay in a stable price range? Then no, not right now. Until wider adoption, its price is going to be volatile. It's going to go up and down on its way up. But what causes that price volatility? Well, real people making real decisions to use it or not to use it. They're not being forced to use it. I'm not being forced to use it. You, if you use Bitcoin, are not being forced to use it. It's a currency of choice. So that's it. That's what impacts the price. People making a decision whether or not to use it. And because of that, it's basically the most democratically free currency in the history of mankind, more than likely. But back to, is Bitcoin safe? If you mean safe, is Bitcoin free from people tampering with the system itself? And taking your money without consent or manipulating the rules that are built into the system, then yes, it is absolutely the safest monetary system in the world in that regard because no one can do that. And believe me, they have tried, but no one has succeeded. You see, Bitcoin is a system controlled by rules, and those rules say that there will only ever be 21 million coins in existence. There will never be a centralized authority over it to manipulate it. And when you self-custody, no one has access to your Bitcoin except you, unlike bank accounts. I mean, the system itself was created as a direct result of the 2008 financial crisis when we uncovered yet another area of institutional greed and monetary system greed that resulted in significant loss for the rest of us on Main Street. So the question is, what are we all trying to find security from? Financial security in particular. What are we trying to find financial security from? And if your answer is anything other than human greed, then I really don't know what to tell you, because all of history would seem to disagree with any other answer. So as always, I'm Alli Shaw. Like, follow, and subscribe to Prosper Project for more important info about you and your money.